If you're somebody who obsesses in your healing journey, this message is for you. Listen, don't even lie, because I know some of you in person and I know how you get obsessed with your healing. And I know it's so cool when you are improving yourself and the personal development journey and you're seeing all these changes come through. How exciting that is. I love that for you, but there is a fine line and there's a nuance between doing the work and being obsessed with the work, okay? So if we don't know each other, hi, I'm Shanila. I'm the founder of Flow Breathwork Facilitator Training, and I mentor aspiring healers. And listen, the first thing that you want to keep in mind when you are feeling that you might be obsessing, or you're kind of, a little low-key aware that you might be kind of addicted to your healing journey, is to notice if you're hyper-fixating on your journey. And this means that you're always focused on finding the next tool, and you're finding the next coach, you're finding the next mentor, you're finding the next certification, you're finding the next community, you're finding the next, and you're hyper fixating on that path. And it's like, you're healing through X, Y, and Z, and in your mind, you're creating these rules and these laws for you to get to that ending. So you're like, I need to do this, and this, and then I'm gonna heal through this thing, and then I need to do and then I'm gonna heal through this thing. And you're really just like controlling this path. You're hyper fixating on this path rather than just letting it be for a moment, just like relax and breathe for a second. Because one of the biggest things on your healing journey is this concept of integration, which basically means that you need to integrate all the things that you've been consuming. So the videos that you watch, the podcasts that you listen to, all the things that you consume on social media, all the books that you've been reading, all the people that you've been talking to, all the mentors and the coaches and the communities that you have. Screw it all, because at the end of the day, you have to come home to yourself and say, like, am I able to integrate all these different pieces of information that I've just received? Because information is absolutely useless. Like, it is absolutely useless unless there's energetics behind it, and the energy comes from you. So if you're feeling tired because you're creating these rules for yourself on what healing looks like and what you need to develop and how you need to improve and what you need to fix, there's always going to be some kind of lack in there. So notice, is there something that you've been doing that is really about just hyper fixating on the path rather than allowing things to unfold and allowing things to flow? The second thing is carrying over from the first thing, is that when you hyperfixate on your journey, you're always going to find something else to fix. You're always going to find something else that's not right and something that's not enough and that needs to get redone, that needs to get reconfigured. You're always going to find examples of that. And that's going to be really exhausting and disappointing for you. Like, you already know that if there's always something to fix, you will always be on a chase. You're chasing the next solution. You're chasing the next path. You're chasing. And it makes you feel really ungrounded. And part of that obsession is because we find benefits to when we go heal and we do a thing and we take a path and we do the steps and we feel the benefit. We are just like, wow, that was really nice. And so it's not wrong that you have a path that you want to follow. And it's not wrong that there's something that you want to improve upon. And it's not wrong that there's certain things that you want to do better or do differently. And that's just life. You will always find ways to evolve and change and experience different things in different ways. And also give it a rest. Go back to step one, which is to integrate, right? That hyperfixation. We said part of your healing journey, part of your self-development journey is also to let it just breathe. And that integration part is going to be important for you. Third thing is it compounds on the first thing and the second thing. The first thing we said is that hyperfixation. The second thing we said is that you will always find something to fix. So at the end of the day, you might as well just decide you're enough. Like, when is it going to be enough for you? What are you going to need to fix or to improve upon where you're just going to feel okay in the silence? And oftentimes, our desire to overheal and overdo and overcompensate our healing journey and self-development journey comes from the fact that we are in avoidance. We don't want to really know what it feels like to be in that silence because it's scary. Like, when that silence comes, that's like, that's when you're like, oh, and that's when you realize like all these different things that you've done is actually not sticking. It's something that you didn't practice. It's something you consumed in your head, but you didn't actually put it into practice. So when those things start to arise for you, you're like a little disappointed. It's kind of disappointing, but here's the practice. If you find that you're constantly on this rabbit wheel, I want to see a rabbit on a wheel, but like a hamster wheel, when they're just going around in a circle and they're just going, a part of you subconsciously believes that you're not enough. And that really sucks to be like, I've done all this stuff. I went through the shadow work. I went through all this pain. I went through all this forgiveness. I read all the books. I spent all the money. I consumed, but I didn't give myself time to just feel like, you know what? I see that could improve, but I'm okay for now. I'm going to just soften. I'm going to just rest, and I'm okay for now. And that takes such radical bravery on your part. Like, let me tell you, like, if nobody else told you that before, it takes so much radical bravery on your part to do that. To just be like, I know I'm not there, whatever there is, like, sorry, like, I'm not like all enlightened or whatever. You're not like there. And part of you knows like there's things to still, you can improve. You could do it differently. You could do it better. Yeah, absolutely. It's not to say that like you shouldn't thrive or strive for something else or something different, but there is a part of you that is just enough as you are. And it's like, okay, now I can breathe and now I can rest. So, your homework assignment, should you choose to accept this assignment, is to go ahead and, see, are you obsessed with your healing journey? Is there a part of you that is so disconnected from your own inner voice because you're always just consuming information? You're always just taking in the stimulus. You're taking in the information. You're taking in the rules. You're taking in the blueprints. You're taking in other people's journeys. You're watching other people go through their process. And all of a sudden you feel disconnected from yours. This process is happening in your vessel. This particular energetics cannot be duplicated by another person, right? So here you get to breathe and you say, if that is so, I forgive myself for that. My bad. It's like, all right, don't hold yourself too hard on that. You forgive yourself for that. And then you continue to move forward. You give yourself that time. You give yourself that space. Capiche? All right, friends. Well, if this resonated with you, definitely, hit subscribe. Go ahead and leave some comments. Let me know how it goes. And friends, remember, the world is your playground, and I will catch you soon.